What happened in 2020, I would characterize as a bifurcation of Main Street and Wall Street. We had hyperinflation in financial assets. I am struggling with the time-honored question, what is money? What's going on with Bitcoin is a bunch of people with the same ideology. We just all like to keep our money.
It's not exactly that you want to keep your money. It's you want to keep the fruits of your labor and you want to keep your reputation. And you want to do that over the longest amount of time possible with the least amount of parasitism and corruption manageable.
A clinical psychologist who's spent decades studying human nature sits across from a billionaire who just bet his entire company's future on digital money. For 85 minutes, they don't just talk about Bitcoin, they dissect the collapse of civilization itself. This isn't your typical crypto hype conversation. When Jordan Peterson, the man who's analyzed the deepest patterns of human behavior, calls Bitcoin a hell of an experiment, and Michael Saylor responds with, "It is, and it will," you know something profound is happening. Today, we're diving into the conversation that's got millions asking, is Bitcoin really humanity's financial salvation? Or are we all just guinea pigs in the biggest monetary experiment in history? The pivotal moment came when Peterson asked Saylor a question that made the room go silent. If Bitcoin's adoption is exponential, won't it just suck the investment capital out of everything? Saylor's response was immediate. It is, and it will. That's why I'm here. No hedging, no corporate speak, just raw conviction. This wasn't just an interview anymore. It was a revelation about the future of money itself. Peterson, visibly processing this, realized he wasn't just talking to a Bitcoin enthusiast. He was sitting across from someone who believes we're witnessing the birth of an entirely new economic order. Here's what Saylor showed Peterson that changed everything. Even the US dollar, supposedly the world's strongest currency, has lost 99.9% of its value over the past century. Think about that. Picture your life savings sitting in a vault. But the vault has a hole in the bottom you can't see. Every year, a little more wealth drains away. That's inflation, what Saylor calls the invisible tax. During COVID, this became impossible to ignore. While Main Street businesses were locked down and dying, Wall Street assets soared to record highs. It was a war on currency, Saylor realized, the largest wealth transfer in modern history, from ordinary savers to asset holders. For Saylor, sitting on $500 million in cash for MicroStrategy, this was existential. Keep the cash and watch it slowly die from inflation. Or find something that couldn't be debased by politicians and central bankers. This is where Saylor's argument gets fascinating. He doesn't call Bitcoin digital gold. He calls it pure digital energy. Here's the key insight that blew Peterson's mind. Bitcoin follows the laws of thermodynamics. Just like energy, it cannot be created from nothing. With only 21 million Bitcoin that will ever exist, it's mathematically scarce, immune to the printing press that destroys every other currency. Saylor explained. That's Bitcoin. But here's what makes it revolutionary. It's not controlled by any government, any bank, or any single point of failure. Running on tens of thousands of computers worldwide, it's what Saylor calls a nuclear-hardened, fault-tolerant organism that literally cannot be shut down. Peterson, the psychologist who studies human nature, saw something deeper. This isn't just about money. This is about truth itself. What captivated Peterson wasn't just Bitcoin's technology, it was its moral dimension. In a world where politicians can print money to fund their pet projects, where central banks can bail out their friends, where the rules change based on who's in power, Bitcoin represents something Peterson calls incorruptible digital truth. Every transaction is transparent. Every rule is set in stone. No one can cheat the system. Not governments, not billionaires, not anyone. Bitcoin rewards productivity and penalizes manipulation, Saylor argued. It aligns with natural law itself. This hit Peterson like lightning. His entire career has been about helping people take responsibility for their lives. And here was a monetary system that did exactly that. It rewarded saving, planning, and honest work while making corruption mathematically impossible. For the first time, Peterson was seeing money not as a necessary evil, but as a tool for human flourishing. But the conversation went even deeper. They weren't just talking about Bitcoin, they were talking about civilization itself. Saylor's warning was stark. If we don't fix the money, everything else falls. He painted a picture of collapsing currencies throughout history. The Roman Empire, Weimar Germany, Venezuela today. Every civilization that debased its money eventually collapsed. Bitcoin, he argued, offers humanity its first chance to build a monetary system that can't be corrupted, can't be inflated away, can't be weaponized by tyrants. Peterson saw the implications immediately. This wasn't just about getting rich. This was about preserving the fruits of human labor across generations. It was about creating a foundation for civilization that could actually last. Bitcoin doesn't just change your portfolio, Saylor concluded. It changes you. And ultimately, it could change the destiny of human civilization itself. As Peterson sat back, clearly orange-pilled by the conversation, one question lingered in the air. We're living through the largest monetary experiment in human history. Central banks are printing money at unprecedented rates. Governments are drowning in debt. Traditional assets are disconnected from economic reality. And here's Bitcoin, mathematical, incorruptible, unstoppable, growing stronger with every passing day. Saylor believes we're at an inflection point, that Bitcoin will eventually absorb the value from every other asset as people realize it's the only money that can't be debased. The question isn't whether this transformation is coming, it's whether you'll recognize it before everyone else does. If Saylor is right, the world will one day measure wealth in satoshis, not dollars. The question is, how soon before everyone realizes it? What do you think? Is Bitcoin humanity's monetary salvation, or the biggest bubble in history? Let me know in the comments below. And if this conversation opened your eyes like it did Peterson's, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas that are reshaping our world.